How do I get set up for shooting grassroots football and EFL football? Hi guys, it's Friday evening and tomorrow, Saturday 21st of March, I've actually got two shoots, pretty much literally back to back. I've got my son's game early in the morning for his under-12s team, and then I've got Fleetwood Town in the afternoon at 3 o'clock kickoff, which means I need to be there for about 12:30 to be able to get in and do the GVs comfortably and get all the player arrivals and all that kind of. My son's game should finish around 11:45. It's not a great big window to get from one to the other. So let's go through what is my pre-shoot routine. First of all, checking my gear, which means my camera bag, making sure I've got everything in there. A lot of stuff stays in that camera bag. It doesn't actually see the light of day unless it's being used. But making sure I've still got the essentials in there, such as my spare batteries, such as my cleaning cloths, all that kind of thing. Making sure that's still in situ ready. Speaking of batteries, making sure they're all charged. So I've got 3 batteries in total. I've got one which is the Nikon standard legit battery, which holds a little bit more power than the other 2 that I've got. The other 2 are third-party brand, making sure that all those 3 are fully charged. So I know for a fact I've got one of the third-party ones that I haven't touched since it was last fully charged. That's already in my bag. I've got separate pouches for it in the side pocket. The second of those spare batteries, I know it's been on charge this week because that was drained last weekend. That drained fully when I was shooting 2 games last weekend. That one's fully charged. That's already in the bag, all good to go. So the third one, which is the official Nikon one, that one is now on charge by our front door in my charging dock there. And that's the one that's going to go straight into the camera tomorrow morning on the way to my lad's football game. So as part of my last minute checks and my last minute walkthrough of what I need to grab and go, that will be the last thing that I grab, stick it in my coat pocket, and it's there to put in the camera as soon as I get there. Formatting my SD cards. One SD card in the camera, one in a pouch, separate in my bag with my spare batteries. The spare one, I know that's been formatted. I did that after the last time I used it. The one that's in the camera, I've just formatted that this evening, but it's no big deal if I don't do it the day before, because every single time when I turn up for a shoot, the first thing I do is, before I even take a test shot, is I go into the menu on the back of the camera, format it there, make sure it's all completely blank, completely fresh slate, good to go. Making sure everything's charged for the POV camera. So that's what I'm using to record right now. The battery on it is actually quite low. I've got 2 spare batteries in the battery charger in my bag. They're fully charged, so even if I don't charge this one, I'm absolutely fine. But this evening, I'm going to charge this battery in that dock, all 3 good to go, and then I can just put it in this. I'll put one of those 2 that's fully charged into this, charge that other one. It's all good. The one thing I haven't done in a couple of weeks, though, is charge the wireless mic. So I'll definitely be doing that this evening. Stick that on the breakfast bar, charger underneath, job done. And this is more specific for the EFL side of things tomorrow, because I'm shooting Fleetwood Town against Crawley Town. Making sure my laptop is fully charged. I'm using my laptop now. I will be using it for the rest of the evening. It will be just left on charge overnight, grab and go situation, shove it in the bag, out the door, all good. So basically now, in the morning, all I need to do is grab the microphone for this camera, grab the battery pack for this camera, grab my laptop, and grab the battery from the front door, as well as grabbing my stool from the kitchen, and also my telescopic stool from the conservatory where I keep all the rest of my desk stuff. Shove them in the car and go. Now, more importantly, on the laptop side of things, because I've only got that quick switch around between my lad's game and Fleetwood Town, I need to make sure that everything's set up in Photo Mechanic and in my folders on my Mac to make sure I can quickly come home, ingest the photos from the game in the morning, get them all done, and then reformat that SD card before I start shooting at Fleetwood. So the first thing I do is create my folders in Finder. So I've got separate folders for my son's team and Fleetwood Town shoots. I will create those folders, and then within those folders I'll have a raw file. I will have a socials file, so that will be where social media exports will go. So those that have got my watermark, they'll be in the socials file. The main folder will just have all the exports in, so I can just have those in the same folder. That's absolutely fine. I do it slightly different for Fleetwood Town, so I'll have the match folder, and then I will have a RAW or JPEG, but I'll be shooting in RAW. I'll have a RAW folder for those files. I'll have a live folder for anything that I do decide to edit and export during the game or while I'm there. I'll have a second edit folder, which will be basically the final edit once I do the whole of the gallery. Then that gallery is uploaded and sent to the club after the fact. And then as well, I'll have the socials folder there because anything that I put out on social media for Fleetwood Town, because I'm shooting on their Dataco license, it needs to be watermarked appropriately. So once I've got those, I'll go into Photo Mechanic. And first of all, I'll set it up so that as soon as I can put that SD card into my SD card reader on the laptop, it will automatically ingest all my lads' games photos, put them in that raw folder, ready to go, and then I can just import those into Lightroom and start editing. So I have it set up as the destination folder being that raw folder within their games, within the match folder in Finder. I'll set it to rename every single file in sequence. So it's got MBP, which is Martin Berry Photography, the two teams that are playing, the date, and then the sequence of numbers 1 to however many it is that I've decided to ingest. I'll set it to auto ingest, so as I say, I can literally just pop the SD card in and let it do its thing while I'm getting ready for the afternoon shoot. And because I pick the photos that I want to ingest as I'm going during the game, I will set the appropriate options to import only the ones that are locked on the SD card. So anything that's unlocked on my camera, that I haven't pressed the back button lock button, anything that's not locked will be completely discarded. It will never see the light of day. If it's been locked, it'll be ingested. And in this instance, I'll make sure to also select to only import the RAW files. I'm only going to be shooting in RAW anyway, but I can choose between the two. The few games where I've shot in JPEG only, I would have changed that to import only the non-RAW files. And the important bit is I will uncheck the option to include the metadata information, because I only use that for the Fleetwood Town stuff. So then what I'll do from there is, once that's all been ingested and everything tomorrow, I'll quickly switch all that information out. So I'll quickly change the destination folder to the Fleetwood Town RAW folder. I'll quickly change the option, I'll quickly rename the files to MBP Fleetwood Town versus Crawley Town, the date, and then reset the sequence so it starts from 001 again. I'll make sure it's set to incremental ingest as well, so it will only scan for and import any new photos that I take, because I will be importing things, for example, after the player walk-ins, during the warm-ups, that kind of thing. I'll be importing as I go during the day. So I don't want to be duplicating those photos over and over again each time I import them. I'll check to make sure that the metadata information is included on the import. Obviously, once I've edited that, I will edit that tonight to make sure that the relevant information is there. So it's now saying that Fleetwood Town, the image is taken from Fleetwood Town versus Crawley Town on such and such a date, Highbury Stadium, Fleetwood, that kind of thing. I'll quickly also double check and update my code replacement, so I will change the referee and the assistant referee's names. Not that I really shoot or include them anyway, it's just good to have them in there, because I'm basically shooting for stock imagery for Fleetwood and any big moments in the game. And I'll also just add on stuff for Crawley Town's manager as well, and the team name, just so I've got those two quick actions. And once that's done, I'm pretty much good to go. So I'll do a proper video on what my actual edit process is and that whole Photo Mechanic and Lightroom side of things. But what I will say is that I found it so much easier to ingest into Photo Mechanic, select all the ones that I want to actually edit, drag them into Lightroom, import them into Lightroom from there, edit from there. And I also crop and export from Lightroom as well. I'm not really much of a fan of cropping in Photo Mechanic, mainly because Fleetwood use 3 main crops. They use the 8x10, they use the 16x9 and 16x10 as well, because 16x10 they can use for those Instagram carousels where it's main image and then the second image you can scroll across and it's got match day information or whatever it might be. So yeah, thought I'd have a quick run through of that while I'm in the process of doing all those things right now. Hope you found that interesting. If there's anything you'd like to ask me about that process, or shooting multiple games on the weekends, how I shoot my son's games compared to Fleetwood games or whatever it might be, or other games that I've been asked to shoot, let me know. Drop a comment below, and I will see you very shortly with the breakdown of images from the Fleetwood game tomorrow against Crawley Town. Hopefully we get some goals. So thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for following along. Hope you have a good weekend shooting if you are shooting anywhere this weekend. And I'll see you again soon. Take care.